Good morning, everybody. We're going to do an experiment. And the experiment is going to last maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. So I'm going to take you along this journey. Have we ever realized, have we ever thought about how powerful our words are? Well, in everything that we do, I've always said this, probably for 25, 30 years, I really didn't realize what I was saying. But I always talked about what we bring into here, what we speak out of here, we take into our soul. So we're going to do an experiment, and I'm going to show you. It's a very simple experiment. You could do this with your kids at home, and it may be eye-opening to how destructive or how proactive and wonderful we can be. So let's take a look, and as we go along this journey, I'll be filming every day, and I'll be telling you the words, and then we'll see what happens. So all you need is a bag of rice, something to write with, 2 little sticky notes, and 2 jars. What we're going to do is we're going to put in each jar just some rice. Then we're going to label these jars. Hold on. So just boil your rice, and once you're done boiling your rice, keep the water in it and let it cool off. Then you're going to take the rice and you're going to put it in the 2 jars. And you're about to find out what we're going to do with the 2 jars. Very interesting experiment. Some people it takes a week. Some people it takes 2 weeks. Some people it'll actually take up to a month. So let's see what happens. When the experiment's done, I'll put the whole video out. But you'll be seeing it day by day and step by step to see what occurs. Let's let it cool down. So the purpose of the experiment is love and hate. We're going to fill these jars with rice and a little bit of water. Each and every morning, I'm going to say love words such as beautiful, wonderful, friendship. When I come to the hate jar, I'm going to say ugly, fat, corrupt, disturbing. And we're going to see what happens with these 2 jars when you speak to them. Let's watch what happens with the experiment. Day 1. You're beautiful, you're lovely, and you're edible, and I really like you. You are so beautiful. Day 1. I can't stand you. You're ugly. You're ugly and diseased and nasty. So this is the beginning of day 1. We're going to be talking to these jars for the next week or so. Let's see what happens. So I want to add to this a little bit. The experiment that I'm doing, I would like to challenge each of you to do this with maybe one of your loved ones, your husband, your wife, your kids, and then hashtag it OTWP collab. Well, no, let's name it, let's hashtag it OTWP love. Hashtag it OTWP love. Do your own video if you have a channel. If you don't have a channel, you can always do a short video and send it to me, and then part 2 we'll be doing in a couple weeks. And I'd like everybody to send in their videos to me, and we'll put in a whole video about what happened to each person's experiment. I want to say that if you've never read it, The Secret is a really good book. It's really deep. It's about manifesting your own dreams, about manifesting your own positivity. And I truly believe that the book, The Secret, opened up a new world to me. I also love to read, as you all know. And one of my very favorite books is by Cal Hill Gibran, and it's called The Prophet. If you've never read it, it would be probably very eye-opening to each and every one of you. Again, his name is Khalil Gibran, and it's called The Prophet. I'm going to read a little insert to you. One of my favorite authors is Khalil Gibran. He lived in the late 1800s until the early 1900s. One of my favorite books that he wrote was called The Prophet. So I want to read something to you, or kind of quote it to you, so that you can think. No, I'm gonna read it. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew over the sea. And he closed his eyes and prayed in the silence of his soul. But as he descended the hill, a sadness came upon him, and he thought in his heart, how shall I go in peace and without sorrow? Nah, not without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of a loneliness, and who can depart from his pain and his loneliness without dread? Too many fragments of the spirit have I scattered in these streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills, and I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and an ache. It is not a garment I cast off this day, but a skin that I tear away with my own hands. Nor it is a thought I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. Yet I cannot tarry longer. The sea that calls all things unto her calls me, and I must embark. For to stay through the hours burning the night is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold. Pain would I take with me all this that is here, but how shall I? A voice cannot carry the tongue, and the lips that gives it wings. Alone must it seek the ether, and alone and without his nest shall the eagle fly across the sun. If you've never read The Prophet or The Secret, it may be a day to get a new book. I hope you enjoy this experiment of love versus hate, of destruction versus compassion, of evil versus good.
I'm about to show you, it's going to freak you out. Has anyone heard of Masaru Emoto? What he would do is he would get a bottle of water, and then he would sticky tape a word to it. And he'd pour that bottle of water into about 50 different petri dishes. And he'd roll it into a giant freezer. And then as the ice thawed, it creates crystalline formations. So this is the most spectacular of all the crystals. It's the combination of love and gratitude. You fool, Japanese and English, wisdom. I love this one. Let's do it. It presupposes collaboration. Let us do it together versus do it, which presupposes command and control. What you got to understand, your words actually impact matter. Your words matter. Now, you can actually conduct your own experiment at home. It's called the rice experiment. And do this with your kids. Boil white rice. Get 2 jars of white rice. On one jar, label it love. On the other jar, hate. And every morning, get the kids to come down and say 3 beautiful words to the love jar. I love you, you're beautiful, thank you. And then get them to say 3 negative words to the hate jar. I hate you, you're ugly, you're disgusting. And then at the end of a period of time, for some people it happens in days, weeks, months, something magical will happen. The love jar will stay white. The hate jar will start to go dark and moldy. And it's an